Hi everybody, we're here at Barber Depot in Las Vegas. Today we're going to talk about the difference on the clippers that you can get anywhere, obviously here at Barber Depot as well. So we have prepared three kind of clippers that are the most usual clippers that you can find nowadays to analyze them detailed and to see what the actual difference is. So let's get into it. We have Witch's three clippers for use is the corded Senior, the Caliber 44, and the Ergo from Gamma or Stylecraft. So we already unscrewed all the cases for you, so we can get into that. And we'll start first with the corded clipper. So a corded clipper is actually a very basic machine. You will always find this large copper coil here that shoots an electromagnetic pulse or an electric pulse to this arm that goes here, and this moves its balances this way, like this. And that's what moves the lower blade. So what you can find or you can get out of this. First, obviously it's going to be connected to 110 volts in your electrical outlet. So that means it manages a lot of electricity. So when you hear about power, which is the same as torque, this is going to be a very powerful clipper. Meaning if you're cutting like horsehair, for example, this would be a very good option because it has a lot of power. Not necessarily is going to be very fast. So that will be one of the main features in this kind of clippers. Then the next one is going to be the cordless clipper. And this is pretty basic structure that you will find in any other clipper. You will find a rotary motor, which is this, and it's operated through a battery, which is beneath the motherboard here. In this case, we have the digital display there. And well, what you have here is an 18650. That's a model of the battery, by the way. It's the kind of batteries that you can find in a smoking device. That's the same kind of batteries. And it depends on the kind of milliamps that it has. So that means the amount of power that the actual battery can hold in it. And that will determine the running time on the clipper, obviously based on the amount of electric consumption of the motor itself. So a rotary motor, it's going to be something that has this pivot here on the top, and this rotates and moves the lower blade. So in this case, these batteries operate at 3.7 volts, meaning the amount of power or torque that you can get out of this kind of clippers is obviously going to be lower than the one that you can get out of a corded clipper. So it's going to be, sometimes it might be a very fast clipper. So for example, if you're cutting thin hair, not necessarily very coarse hair, this will be a great option if you want to work very fast. So this will be the cordless clippers. And then you have this new structure, which is the electromagnetic motors. As you can see in the Gamma, the Ergo, the Gamma. So in this case, you have the same kind of structure where you have the motor board, and on top of that, bottom of that, you have the battery, which is going to be still an 18650 battery. In this case, they're using really, really big batteries, meaning they hold a lot of electricity, a lot of power, so that will give you a lot of runtime in these clippers. But if you notice, the main difference is this. Here you don't have a motor, a rotary motor. You have a coil, just as the one you have on a corded clipper. So that manages to provide a lot of torque, meaning much more power. So if you're cutting horsehair, this is going to have a lot of power. And on top of that, the system that they're using, if you see these two sides here, kind of red dots, these are magnets. So how this works is this pivot on the top just balances like a pendulum, like side to side. And that makes this kind of structure a very, very, very fast clipper as well. That's why you see they're rated up to 10,000 RPM. So in this kind of new clippers, you actually combine a lot of power with a lot of speed. So yeah, I think it's a much better structure depending on what you're going to do. For me, I think that obviously the long lasting, or the ones that will last longer, are always going to be the corded clippers, just because it's very simple. If you see, there's no so much components in them, and they're easy fixable when you need to fix something. By the other hand, whenever something is having a motherboard, there's certain things you can't repair because you can't repair a motherboard, so you have to change it all. And usually those tend to be more expensive components and obviously fixing. That would be the main difference between all these kind of clippers. You will find the same kind of structure when it comes to trimmers or detailers, just going to be in a smaller scale, obviously a lower battery, maybe another model of battery, meaning the size, but the motors, the coils, what's in it is going to be mostly the same. So as I said, sum up, if you're looking for a lot of torque, meaning a lot of power, to cut like horsehair, not necessarily a very fast clipper, you would most likely go with this. If you're looking for a very fast clipper, this will be maybe a good choice. For me, still the better choice is always this one. It's definitely a new structure, a new technology, at least for clippers, and it has been worked really well. So hope you like it, hope it helps you, and whatever you need. As I said, we're here in Barber Depot in Las Vegas. Our website is barberdepot.lv.com. Thank you very much. See you next time.